We are.
Tell me when we start.
We're on.
Yeah! Here we are! Season 2, episode 56. Yeah, guess what, folks? West Side Brewing. We're supposed to be there tonight. This is our big coat drive, push, party. I don't even know who's out there tonight. I know where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to have 75 of our closest and beloved donating friends, all drinking craft beer. And I was confused and wondering, how am I going to do a cocktail while I'm there? Well, apparently our Governor DeWine was worried about the complex problems I was going to have. And he said, Paul, I'm going to help you out. You can't have your party tonight, so you just stay home and you drink by yourself. Well, I'm not drinking by myself. I'm drinking with everybody out there. There's 3 of you. It's okay. I love it. I only need one other person to not be an alcoholic. That's what my doctor tells me. So anyway, yeah, here we are. We're doing a great cocktail tonight, and we're giving a big shout out to West Side Brewing because if you don't know this, every year, the Wednesday before, we have a huge party at West Side Brewing, and those sons of guns, you know, every beer that we end up drinking over there, $1 of that goes to our charity. It's a great night. We do wonderful. We don't get to do tonight, but we still love you. So in honor of West Side Brewing, we're doing a little craft beer cocktail, quarantine style. Yeah, this is a shout off their menu. So folks, come on in. Blue Monkey Quarantine, only business is monkey business. By the way, it's Blue Monkey Christmas. Yeah, he got trees. That's what we do. Come on in, folks. Don't worry, we got more of these. I need one for the drink tonight. Pause. Okay, here we go. All right, so here we are. Yeah, 17th century. That's where we're going to. Because tonight, the star of the show is not only a little craft beer, it's also gin. So if we're going to talk about gin, let me just give you a couple quick things. First of all, gin is a Dutch drink, 17th century, and it was a medicine. It was medicinal. You know, I think that's why I love alcohol and I don't feel so bad. Have you noticed that almost all of the good beverages that we've ever done have started off as some sort of medicinal purpose? I think that's fantastic. It should make you feel a little bit better as you drink tonight. At some point in time, it was probably meant to be good for you. That, by the way, is not a recommendation to drink alcohol. I'm just reporting facts. So, but anyway, yeah, this was medicinal. So back in the day, it was Javier or Genevier or Genevier, which means juniper in Dutch. Which, as we all know, if you taste gin, you taste the juniper, and that's how it was created. But obviously, it's come a long way. It is the gin we know today, but this was a Dutch thing. Matter of fact, gin was originally known as Dutch courage, and the reason is because they used to feed the Dutch army. They used to give them gin before they would go into battle. Now, I don't know if you've heard that, but we've talked about that before. Quite a few armies thought it was a good idea to get all their army men liquored up before they went into battle. I'm just saying, if you're looking for some courage, this isn't a new thing. Anyway, so fast forward 19th century. So let's start off with the early 1800s. We're switching gears. We're going to go to Britain. So the British have decided that they love going to India in the 1800s. Matter of fact, here's why they love it so much. They've got this wonderful thing there that they're all just loving, and it's called malaria. Yeah, so they're going all the way to India to get this wonderful new disease called malaria. It's exciting, it's new, it's a great weight loss. I don't know why they're doing it, but they quickly find out that there's a bit of a cure and preventative measure to prevent malaria, and that is quinine. Yes, quinine, it's true. So they discover that quinine, which is from the bark of the cinchona, yep, the cinchona tree. Anyway, they were able to use this. The problem with quinine is that it's very bitter. It doesn't taste good. It's bitter medicine. Well, they discovered that if you mix the quinine with sugar and water and make a tonic, tonic water, then it's a lot easier to drink. Well, that's all good and well, and that's fantastic, but that's not good enough for the British Navy. So the British Navy in about 1850, 19th century, they decide that they found an even better way, that if they take the tonic water and they mix it with the gin ration that they get every day, that it makes it even better. And my friends, that is where the gin and tonic basically originated. The British Navy brought it to us, and it was all for the safety and health of the British Navy men that were on the ships to prevent and protect them from malaria. Amazing, right? Well, Paul, are we doing a gin and tonic tonight? Not exactly. We got to talk about one other drink, and that's the gimlet, which is basically a gin sour. Now, why am I talking about that? Here's why. Well, it's part of our drink tonight, but here's the great thing about the gimlet. It also has ties to the British Navy. Yeah, it's true. 1867, this little beverage is introduced. It's invented. It's called Rose's Lime Juice. You've probably heard of it. I tell you not to use it. Some people use it in their cocktails. You shouldn't. We have fresh limes. But in 1867, it was an amazing thing because it was a way to transport lime juice in mass quantities without it spoiling. It was wonderful. Guess who loved it? The British Navy. Why did they love it? Because apparently not only did malaria present a problem to the Navy, scurvy was a big deal too. So with Rose's Lime Juice, they were able to help treat the Navy men with Rose's Lime Juice. But again, leave it to the British Navy because they figured out a better way to take the medicine. And that is, you guessed it, mixing it with their daily ration of gin. So apparently, here's what we know about the British Navy. Any problem they had, they just added gin. And a matter of fact, the gimlet is believed to be named after Sir Thomas Gimlet, who was the British naval surgeon. Yeah, he's the one who came up with it. Anyway, Paul, so what are we making? Are we making a gin and tonic? Are we making a gimlet? What's going on? No, we're making a bit of a riff today. So here's what those two, the gin and tonic and the gimlet are probably two of the most famous and historically based gin drinks out there. And they outline the most common ingredients for any gin drink. You need gin. You typically need some sort of mixer, like a tonic, which is the most popular with gin. You also need typically something sweet, simple syrup. That was also in our gimlet. And then you need some sort of citrus, lime. And that is the ultimate drink. Well, we're going to do a little bit of riff on that tonight. And again, this is a shout out to West Side Brewing. This is their drink. It's called Stay a While. But we're going to call it Quarantine Stay a While. Because guess what you get to do when you get to quarantine? You get to stay a little while longer. So it's perfect. Anyway, how do you make it? It's easy. First of all, ice in some cocktail glasses, rocks glasses. This is going to be perfect. And then a little bit of ice in a shaker. We're going to be stirring tonight though, so don't get yourself confused. Some good gin. We're going to go with a little Norwegian hairhorn gin. Yeah, it's good stuff. This is a very traditional, which really this is what you need for this drink. Traditional juniper based, but don't worry, there's going to be a lot of stuff you won't taste at all. You'll be a fan. I'm saying this specifically to Shelby. Because Shelby's not the biggest gin fan, but she's going to like this one. I promised her. All right, so 2 ounces of gin, 2 for me, 2 for Shelby, and then we got to go with a little tonic. And tonight we're going to go with the great, delicious fever tree. By the way, the cinchona tree, in case you ever wondered why it's called fever tree tonic, fever tree is the nickname for this cinchona tree. It's called the fever tree because the bark has quinine, which reduces the fever from malaria. Who cares? So we're going to go 2 ounces of tonic. 1, 2. And then let's just do the simple syrup. That's the main reason. We need about a 1/2 ounce per, so we're going to do 1 1 ounce total for both of these drinks. There it is. And then next thing we're going to do is our citrus. Our citrus tonight, not lime. Our citrus tonight, Emergency. So yeah, British Navy. British Navy. Yeah, one of the original producers of Emergency. Yeah, they used to mix it straight up with gin, just like they did everything else, and it was a cure-all. Yeah, you know, nobody. Tell me when they had COVID-19 in the British Navy back in the 18th century. 19th century? No, they didn't. Emergency. British Navy produced, not sponsoring our show. So a little sprinkle in there, and then we're coming in, folks. We're stirring. You don't want to shake this. It'll explode on you. You don't want that. There is another theory on the name of the gimlet. I have to be fair and give credit. It sounds great that it comes from Sir Thomas Gimlet. What a great name, right? In fact, there's another theory. There is a hand tool called the gimlet. That is a drill that basically pierces large boring holes. A hand tool, and it was known to be very popular and used on the British Royal Navy ships. And some people used to say the gimlet because it was so piercing of a drink that they called it the gimlet. I like Sir Thomas Gimlet better. All right, so we'll do that. Then we're gonna come in. We're straining. Now you're gonna strain this. Leave yourself a little room, and here's why. You're coming in, and instead of lime or any other citrus, folks, we're going with a session IPA. Nice, bitter, tart, a grapefruit kind of punch, and you're going to put about 2 ounces, top your drink off. There it is. Now, you're coming in. We got to garnish it. Wedge your wheel. Shelby, wedge your wheel.
Wheel.
Wheel. Oh, I love it. That's why we get along so well. I was going to go wheel. You're going to come in with a fantastic, wonderful, delicious lime wheel on top. Garnish. Boom. Done. Folks, there it is. It's the Quarantine and Stay Awhile with Me cocktail. West Side Brewery. Thank you very much for the recipe. Here it is. Now, is it good? It's got gin. It's got beer. I mean, come on. Oh, yeah, that's it. So, what's great is the beer. It adds almost a little bit of a frothy. I mean, if you can kind of see the little head on there, it's almost like a little bit of an egg white type of that texture on it. I haven't given it a shake, so the beer is almost floating on top. So it's got this nice roll of that little citrus IPA, and then boom, you get that little gin and tonic right behind it, and folks, this is, oh yeah, that's good. How good is a gin and tonic? I don't know. Let me tell you this. Winston Churchill once quoted that the gin and tonic had saved more Englishmen's lives than all of the doctors in the empire. Yeah. Because they were preventing malaria. They were saving lives. That's pretty good. I'll even give you another one. Billy Joel, he knew the power of it because he talked about the piano man sitting there making love to his tonic and gin. Cheers. Yeah, you just got gin humped tonight. You know, West Side Brewery style, I might add. So, yeah, there's your little quarantine gin hump Wednesday. Cheers. Chink. Chink. Love you. Folks, it's the biggest drinking night of the year. And you guys, it's our biggest push, and I got to give you all credit. People have stepped up today. Folks, we added Mary Jo Frick, Harry Drew, Legacy Funeral, Hunsaker Partners, Christine, everybody. You guys have been awesome. There's one spot left. That's it. We've sold out. People have donated today. We've sold books today. It's a special day. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to drink like you're supposed to do on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That's what we do. And you know what? We love you. Next year, we're going to have a bigger and better party. But for this year, kick back. Enjoy. Love your family. Love your friends. Love the ones you're with. I'm sure there's a song in there somewhere. And, hey, go get stuffed. Oh, yeah. You could have been stuffing hump tonight, too. Actually, stuffing and humping, it's just, never mind. Anyway, love you all. Cheers. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for the support. We will see you Sunday. Enjoy the holiday. Good night.